Imagine this. A massive state-of-the-art interstellar spaceship called the Avalon is silently gliding through the vast, mysterious darkness of deep space. It's sleek, sophisticated, and on a one-way journey to colonize a new world, Homestead 2, a planet light years away from Earth. The Avalon carries over 5,000 passengers and 258 crew members, all in a state of suspended animation, resting peacefully in their individual hibernation pods. They'll sleep undisturbed through the ship's 120-year journey, only to wake up at their destination, ready to begin a brand new life on a distant world. The ship is fully automated, luxurious even, designed to provide the comforts of a cruise liner once its passengers awaken. This is humanity's ultimate leap toward the stars, a journey of hope, of expansion, and of infinite adventure. But then disaster strikes. Roughly 30 years into the trip, the Avalon sails into a meteor storm. The ship's protective shields, built for situations just like this, handle most of the chaos. But one massive asteroid slips through. It tears into the ship, damaging key systems. A chain reaction of errors begins. Warnings flash silently across screens. Dark realization almost whispered. The ship's AI doesn't notice. Beat shift to gravity, a turning point, and this is where everything changes. A single pod malfunctions. One man wakes up. Jim Preston, a mechanical engineer from Earth, finds himself awake, alone, and disoriented. The ship, still fully functional. Its systems hum softly, the amenities glow with artificial welcome. Robotic arms glide smoothly across empty halls. Everything is working perfectly. But everyone else is still asleep. He's awake, 90 years too early. He tries everything, calls out, runs system checks, waits. No one responds. No one else wakes up. He's stuck. This isn't just a mistake in deep space travel. It's the beginning of a lonely psychological survival story, disguised as a romantic sci-fi adventure. Jim Preston wakes up, he blinks, stretches, smiles. He thinks the journey is over. There should be cheers, a smiling crew, a welcome message, maybe even a mimosa. But instead, nothing. The hallway is empty. The lights hum, but there are no footsteps, no voices, just a robotic welcome screen, cheerfully confused about why he's awake. And then it hits him. He's been woken up 90 years too early. And there's no way back. No second chance at hibernation, no do-overs. Jim tries everything. He calls Earth, but a reply would take years. He breaks into crew-only areas. He tries to override the system, but it's no use. The AI doesn't understand that something is wrong. To the ship, everything is perfectly fine. He's trapped on a luxury cruise liner for the rest of his life. 5-star restaurants, a gym, entertainment lounges, even a spacewalk chamber. He lives like a king, but a king with no kingdom. The beard starts growing. He talks to himself. He creates little routines, anything to stay sane. His only companion, Arthur, an android bartender with a charming smile, awkward wisdom, and absolutely zero emotional depth. But over time, the silence creeps in. The loneliness becomes unbearable. Jim wanders the ship, aimlessly. He questions his sanity. He even thinks about ending it all. There's a moment. He steps outside, into space, nothing but the stars, infinite, silent, cold, and he floats there, a tiny speck in the universe, completely forgotten. But just when he's about to give up, he finds something. No, someone, a woman, asleep in a hibernation pod, Aurora Lane, a writer, a dreamer from New York. Jim reads her file, listens to her voice, watches her videos, and he starts to fall for her, even though they've never met. And now, Jim faces the unthinkable, a choice, a question of morality. Does he wake her up so he won't be alone? Or does he let her sleep and face the void by himself? After waking Aurora up under the false pretense of a system malfunction, Jim begins to build a connection with her. Aurora, disoriented but ever resourceful, slowly comes to terms with her new reality. Like Jim, she wanders the ship. She grieves the loss of her future, and she starts writing again, pouring her thoughts into a journal, trying to make sense of the life she never asked for. Time passes, the distance between them fades. They laugh, they share meals, they explore the vast silent beauty of space together. They even go on a date at the ship's elegant restaurant, with Arthur, the quirky AI bartender, playing cosmic matchmaker. It becomes a space-age love story, intimate, Beautiful, two souls, lost in the cold emptiness of space, yet finding warmth in each other. And for a while, it feels like they've found something real, something human. The ship, once a prison, begins to feel like home. Aurora, still unaware of Jim's secret, continues to grow closer to him. She begins to imagine a future with him. Limited? Yes, but maybe enough. Jim was so nervous before he woke you up. The truth crashes down. Jim didn't just find her awake. He chose her. He woke her. He stole her future. You took my life. To Aurora, it's more than a lie. It's betrayal, a violation. Her dreams, Homestead 2, her writing, her freedom, all gone. Taken by someone she trusted, someone she loved. She doesn't see a partner anymore. She sees a captor. Jim is wrecked with guilt. He tries to explain his loneliness, his desperation, but words can't undo what he's done. She doesn't want apologies. She wants the life she lost. She retreats into herself, walls up, cold, unforgiving. Love turned into silence. A home turned into a cage, and two hearts now galaxies apart. While Aurora is still furious with Jim, doing everything she can to avoid him completely, something else begins to go wrong. The Avalon, their ship, their lifeline, starts to malfunction. At first, it's small stuff, flickering lights, doors that don't open, coffee machines sputtering out. But then it gets worse, much worse. Entire sections of the ship lose power. Gravity becomes unstable. Systems fail without warning. What began as a personal war between two people is now a threat to everyone on board. All 5,000 passengers, still sleeping in their hibernation pods, are now in mortal danger. And then, just when things seem hopeless, another pod fails. This time, it's Gus Mancuso, a senior deck crew member, a man with authority and experience, played by Lawrence Fishburne. His arrival is a ray of hope. With higher-level access to the ship's systems, Gus joins Jim and Aurora, helping them finally begin to understand what's going wrong. But there's a price. Gus's hibernation failure has ravaged his body. He's dying. Before he succumbs, Gus helps them uncover the truth, the terrible truth. The Avalon has suffered massive internal damage, likely from the same asteroid that woke Jim up. And now, if they don't fix it, the fusion reactor will fail. The ship will be destroyed. Everyone will die. This changes everything. Aurora and Jim, still torn apart by betrayal and pain, must now put it all aside. Work together. There's no time for apologies, no time for reconciliation. Jim doesn't beg for forgiveness. He focuses on what matters, saving lives. And Aurora, still hurt, chooses to rise above it. This isn't about them anymore, Jim. They race against the clock. The reactor's overheating. Power systems are collapsing. One wrong move could blow the entire ship. They fight their way to the control room, deep in the heart of the ship. Twisted metal, fires, failing systems. It's barely accessible. And there, in that critical moment, Jim realizes someone has to go in, manually open a vent, relieve the pressure. But it's almost certain death. He volunteers without hesitation. This is his redemption. After everything he's done, now he's ready to give his life to save everyone else. With the Avalon's fate hanging by a thread, Jim makes the ultimate decision. He's going to sacrifice himself to repair the fusion reactor before it explodes. But just as he prepares to go, Aurora steps in. Despite everything that's happened between them, she refuses to let him go alone. They both know if they fail, the ship will be destroyed, and the 5,000 passengers, they'll never wake up. This is their one chance to do something truly meaningful, and they're the only ones who can do it. Together they race to the reactor room. The damage is catastrophic. Sparks fly, metal groans. The ship's AI systems are failing. Everything teeters on the edge of collapse. The clock is ticking. Jim reaches the reactor's core, and it's worse than he imagined. There's no safe way to fix it. To even try means almost certain death, but he's already made peace with that. This is his choice, his moment. As she helps him, there's a brief, fragile silence, and then she whispers, "I can't do this without you." Boom! A violent explosion rips through the chamber. Jim is hurled against the wall. Aurora screams, reaches for him, but time is running out. In a final act of courage, Aurora drags him to the ship's auto dock. The machine roars to life, working at a blistering speed. It's a race against death. And then he's breathing. The reactor stabilizes. The ship begins to recover. The Avalon is saved. The 5,000 passengers, still safe. But the real miracle is what happens between Jim and Aurora. They face each other, not as strangers or enemies, but as two people who've endured something impossible. They forgive. Maybe not completely, but enough to start over. They create a new life on the Avalon. We see the new passengers awakening, emerging slowly from their hibernation pods, their eyes widen in awe as they step into the atrium, greeted not by emptiness, but by a flourishing ecosystem, a place of hope, of life. At the heart of this living space stands a monument. Though the new crew never met Jim or Aurora, they carry their legacy forward.